Let me ask this. Did the Speaker bring that letter to the attention of the House?
No. At no point did Mr. Speaker bring that letter to the attention of the House, on the floor of the House.
Should he have?
If he intended to, he was allowed to do so.
I'm sorry, I missed that. He intended to.
No, I didn't say that. I said, and if he even intended to, he was not allowed to do so, and the actions of the members were rather preemptive and premeditated.
Right, so
now let me, okay, go ahead.
If you say he was not allowed to do so, the actions were premeditated, when the House then came back, I mean, when there was calm, why didn't he continue with the proceedings?
You see, the Speaker believes the harmony and the unity of the House. You will agree with me that in that rancorous circumstance, it was not exactly ideal to continue with the proceedings. Nerves were frayed, tempers were raised, and you'll definitely agree that it was not going to be to the benefit of the House for proceedings to continue in that kind of situation. That, I think, really goes without saying.
So would it have been impossible for him to adjourn for 2 hours, 30 minutes or 3 hours and then reconvene and ensure that some things are sorted out before the adjournment to the 21st of July?
Well, you see, there are circumstances that entail a proper assessment of the situation. And in this regard, this was one situation that requires proper liaison, proper discussion within the aggrieved parties for a resolution. In the Senate, I'm sure you're privy to the fact that they also adjourned till the 21st, but had a less rancorous situation in the election of principal officers. So this is one activity that seemed to have brought to the fore the dissatisfaction with certain members and needed to be handled properly. So I believe that Mr. Speaker, in his wisdom, decided to adjourn the House for this duration because he understood what was needed to be done before the House reconvenes again.
Mr. Gbillah,
now, I'm going to go back to answer the question that Suleiman posed initially, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, the House was not allowed to proceed with the laudable deliberation on the legislative agenda which the leadership has put before Nigerians. That is our priority. That is our focus. This is an agenda that is innovative and very novel in the history of the House of Reps. Now, for most of us, that is what we are committed to focusing on, our primary mandate and responsibility. And Mr. Speaker, in his admonition today, also advised the honorable members to focus on what our primary responsibility as honorable members is. And the fact that we should appreciate the mandate we're given by Nigerians and to focus on achieving their yearnings and aspirations. So we are totally committed to the legislative agenda and to the issues that impinge on the lives of Nigerians. That is what we're interested in. But these unfortunate circumstances appear to be rearing their head, and they will also be tackled, like Mr. Speaker said, in due course.
You know, it doesn't look like it's abating. Yesterday we had some party members from your party coming on the program telling us that we shouldn't worry, that we here, the Nigerian populace, shouldn't worry, that it will sort itself out. And every time they say it will get better, and we get to see it deepen and fall, you know, how well do you think this can be resolved? Because everything and anything we've seen so far amounts to what the people will call selfish interest, and nothing has been nationalistic in outlook. Perhaps there is that we don't know. Tell us what's national in this whole fight for principal positions.
Yes, let me say this, Suleiman. The party is not an inanimate object. The party is made up of members and a leadership that are committed to upholding the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the leadership of the House of Representatives is also committed to upholding the Constitution. Now, that is the premise upon which I am going to start to talk now about the resolution of this matter, because the very first section of our Constitution clearly tells us, and let me paraphrase, that the Constitution of this country is supreme. Now, when you go ahead to Chapter 2 and Section 3, it talks about how every provision of that section is something that every government official in this country is committed to upholding. And if we have time, I can quickly read it, but I'm just trying to paraphrase it. And Section 14 of that Constitution is what insists on the observance of federal character in every agency of the country. Section 13 initially had said that every official and every arm of the government, whether executive, legislative, or judiciary, is made to abide by the provisions, is required to abide by the provisions of the Constitution. Now, I'm laying that foundation so we know that in the resolution of this issue, I believe that our party leaders and the leadership of the House is paramount about upholding the country's Constitution above any interests. That will be the foundation upon which this is resolved. Order 7, Rules 27 to 30 are clear about the election of principal officers in the House. Those are provisions in the standing orders of the House that clearly indicate that these members shall be chosen from within the members of that party, depending on what principal office that is. In this case, the majority leader, deputy majority leader, the chief whip, and the deputy whip. These are all positions that are required to be filled, and the precedence has been set that it is something that occurs within the caucus of the party, of the concerned party within the House itself. Now, these provisions are very clear, and I believe that all law-abiding citizens of this country will abide by constitutional provisions and clearly provided provisions in the standing orders of the House that are also backed.
All right,
by
let me bring this in because we're out of time, Honourable. What's your position now, or the group that think or have the same school of thoughts as yourself? Is the Speaker, or should the Speaker go ahead and obey what the party wants?
I appreciate your question, Chamberlain. Now, for this question, I'll answer it in my personal capacity as a member of the House of Reps. I want to assure Nigerians that some of us have come into this House with the fear of God, with the desire to uphold what is just and right and equitable in our country. And we believe that our progenitors who enshrined these provisions in the Constitution have taken into consideration the peculiarity of our country, Nigeria. And we are committed to upholding the provisions of the Constitution. Otherwise, there will be anarchy in this country.
So, does that, which one is that? Is yes or no to the question?
Well, let me say that we would want the Speaker to uphold the Constitution in terms of federal character.
In other words, above what the party wants?
No. Let me rephrase that. It is not above what the party wants. You see, sometimes when a point of order is raised in the House, it's not because you're maligning the other person.
Okay, so
Maybe
with respect to the appointment of the principal officers,
yes,
should the Speaker listen to what the party wants? Or do what the party wants?
The party is privy to these provisions and can be advised to rethink its position. Maybe there was an oversight.
Honourable Gbillah, could you give us a yes or no to that so that we'll just be sure we're on the same page?
Okay, a yes or no to what, Chamberlain?
Should the Speaker obey what the party wants with respect to the announcement, sticking to the list that they submitted for the principal officers in the House?
Well, it is not a yes or no answer, but I would say that I would want the Speaker to stick to the Constitution of this country.
All right, thank you very much indeed. Honourable Mark Gbillah is a member, Ad-hoc Committee of the House of Reps, Media and Public Affairs. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.